welcome back to another player profile and projection. And today we are doing numero 0. Adam Robert Ottavino, relief pitcher, second year on the team. Jake, how are you doing?
I'm good. I kind of wish he was one of those guys that ditched the first name early, because I think if he's Robert Ottavino, I think that opens more nicknames. I think you go like Robo. I think that gives you that.
What about Adu?
Robot. Ayo. It just pushes you to the last name, which again is a great last name.
Yeah, Otto's pretty good.
Stuff, so you can't really complain. I just think Robert Ottavino could have opened up a couple more doors for us. But Ottos have been. We're recording this in the morning. You, me, producer BBD, and it's weird looking back because we forget how kind of crazy he was last year, and it's a weird mix of things because we've got a guy from New York. He pitched crazy well last year. He pitched even better in New York, in the Bronx, which is the formula to be loved in the Bronx. But what he missed was he slowed down to end the year, and his postseason, what he left in our mouth, it doesn't leave a great memory.
Yes. The tail end, the recency bias, has you I hope he gets better next year. Kind of
right
is what you're. And then when you look at the full season of what he did over the course of the regular season, it's incredible. I don't say that lightly.
No.
When you look at his game log, can I just throw out his May? Can I let you guys know what he did in May? Just 1 month. 14 games, 0 runs allowed.
Yeah.
14 games in a row with 0 runs allowed. Actually, how long was his biggest no runs allowed streak? Because I believe
going a little over 14.
Yeah, you're right. It was it's 18 games. 18 games, no runs allowed streak. But his whole season is incredible until the end, and I think he was doing so well that they abused him, and I think coming into this season, they will see, hey, maybe let's spread him out so he's fresh for the postseason. Was it the most innings he's pitched?
Well, so there's a couple things here, because you and I have had some...
No, it wasn't.
No. We've had some overuse / some confidence debates, and I think they actually line up really well here. Holy smokes, that was a full pocket.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Headphone,
I forgot.
Keys, wallet?
Yeah,
and another wire?
This stuff isn't usually in there. It's usually in the backpack.
God.
Yeah. I don't know.
That was full on the table.
I don't like full pockets.
No, I hate pockets are one of the things I get weird about. If you ask me to hold, hey, can you hold this in your pocket? I'm gonna give you a stink eye. I've got a pocket formula, and if you mess with that,
you can't ask a guy to hold something in his pocket.
Well, it could be a girl too.
Well, girls have purses, so sometimes
anyone.
You can't ask someone to hold something in their pocket for you.
Oh yeah, people do.
I know that's not allowed.
Yeah. All right. So Ottavino, he wouldn't do that.
No.
But yeah, so I think we've got a couple
pocket
things going on
space
here.
is sacred. Everyone has their own routine.
Yeah. If you mess with my pocket space,
if you came
we're
up
about to have a bad time.
Yeah, if you came, hey, nothing's in your back right pocket, can you throw this in there for me? I'd be like, that's a bad guy request.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Completely agree. So a couple things here, because also let's go down the stretch, and which is almost unfair to Ottavino because he was lights out and incredible for the duration of the season. I think his confidence was shot because they started using him as a righty specialist, which was also partially because Canely became so good against lefties. Adam Ottavino is almost an automatic out against right-handed batters. Tommy Canely is almost an automatic out against left-handed batters. So they started using him that way a little bit. And I think part of that is actually combining what we're saying here. I think they started doing that a little bit to save their arms. I think they kept Ottavino and Canely regular but only bringing them in for one out. But I think that started messing with his confidence, especially when Ottavino wasn't getting guys out and he was worn out. And like you mentioned, you were looking at the innings pitched. I think we can look at appearances because you got to get the gun hot. You and I know that.
Yeah. Gun's got to be hot.
If there's anything you and I know, it's getting the gun hot. But the past 2 seasons, last year he was 4th in relief pitchers games played, and the year before that he was 5th. So back-to-back years he's been a top 5 used reliever.
75 games in 18 and 73 last year.
And he's 34 years old. I'm not going to play the he's not a spring chicken card, but he's not a spring chicken. So, yeah, back-to-back years with that many appearances, and he's kind of, I don't want to say he had an injury history before that, but he got nicked up a few times, and that keeps the gun fresh before you get the gun hot.
A fresh gun, you need a fresh gun before it gets hot.
A hot gun is a fresh gun.
I concur.
So
we were warned by Rockies fans about second half Ottavino.
Half Otto.
I don't know his career splits, but that was something we were told, like, hey, watch out for second half Ottavino.
Yeah, I mean, career first half ERA is 3.51, career second half is 3.34, so he's technically better in the second half.
But career is kind of interesting because this is a guy who has only had this established role recently. So in 2018, first half 1.62, second half 3.51. He started as a starter, right. So he's got some stats that are weird there. And then 2017, also in the reliever role, first half and second half are both bad.
Yeah.
I mean, really, 2018 was his coming out party.
To a degree. He had a pretty nice 2016 where he started mowing people down, but an abbreviated season. But, yeah, I mean, his contract year, 2018, he shoved and he had – I mean, it's just lights out stuff, and it's, throw the analytics out the window. If you want to use them, they're still pretty nice. I think he's got the slider with the second most movement in baseball, but you just watch him and you say, that's different. If you haven't watched a game of baseball, but you come in, you watch the first 6 innings and you're watching baseball, you're like, okay, this is a game, and then Adam Ottavino comes in, you go, whoa, that's different.
His stuff is incredible.
It's different.
Did you know, I didn't know this, I was just reading his Wikipedia before the show. Did you know and you may, because you know some stuff like this. I think a lot of Yankee fans might not know this, so I'm going to share it. Did you know he made his debut? He's 34 years old, like you just said, at 24 years old for the St. Louis Cardinals as a starting pitcher, and he started 5 games?
3 games.
3 games, appeared in 5, started 3.
Well, I'll connect some dots. I'm not going to say I knew all that information, but I know he was a Northeastern grad. I'm a big Northeastern guy.
Yeah, he got drafted by like the Marlins or the Rays, and then
as a 30th, but that was like a 30th round high school flyer, and then he got drafted as a first round pick.
Yeah. Because he had like all the strikeout records in college.
Right. But it's and again, it's just funny when you think about major league careers and how it's different than a lot of other sports. Look where we are, and Adam Ottavino's had a really nice career, but there was a day when he was someone's first-round pick starting pitcher, and he comes up, he only gets 3 career major league starts, and he gets kind of rocked in them. But here we are a decade after that, and he's a dominant reliever on the Yankees, trying to win a title.
Yeah, he also, as much as his career went from starter to figuring out in relief role to being a dominant back-end reliever, his pitch mix completely shifted until 2018 because he was, Jake's doing, if you're just listening, the cross action. So, he's a 2-pitch pitcher right now.
Analytics guy.
Yeah, he built his own lab like Trevor Bauer to study the pitches. But so last year, just to give you the hard numbers.
Tunneling.
He threw his slider 44% of the time and his sinker 40% of the time. He mixed in a cutter 13. But he's really those 2 pitches which come out the same plane and they crisscross. If you go back to 2016 or 2017, he was primarily slider, but his 4-seam was his second pitch, just a fastball with no movement. And then I think he went into the lab and was like, oh, wait, that doesn't really help me at all.
Labbed.
So I always think that stuff's interesting. His baseball savant bars are incredible.
Yeah.
His fastball's not that fast. That's the only one. But everything else is amazing. His ERA plus last year was 2.35.
Yeah.
100 is, if you're above 100, it's good. He was 2.35.
Right.
Insane. So he did get worn down. His last week of the season and postseason wasn't the same guy as April through the end of September. So I understand why some Yankee fans, because we are a postseason team. We want to win in the playoffs. Don't care about the regular season all that much. But if he can be that dude that he was for 6 months in October,
Yeah.
I mean, we have a fucking demon on our hands.
Yeah, and it's I guess our what to watch for with Ottavino is how they manage him. I feel like we're coming on a new age of relievers. That's cool, Jake. No, but there used to be this stigma back in the day that if a reliever had 5 days off, it's like, whoa, they're cold. Like, I think if you're the Yankees and you're after the season and you're looking at Adam Ottavino, and the past 2 years he has worn out towards the end of the year, I think you almost welcome a couple of those breaks. And you know that, yes, I think there is something with a reliever being sharp that maybe Adam Ottavino after a 5-day off period, don't bring him into maybe that one-run game if you can't, because relievers do like getting the work. But it is something that should be monitored a little more closely because I think if this year Adam Ottavino shoves and then towards the end of the year he's struggling again, I mean, you almost look in the mirror and it's a you problem, not an Adam Ottavino problem.
Yeah, work with that. Yes, I agree. I'm trying to see, because he had the most innings on the Yankees in 2019, or most games played, most appearances. Him and Canely. So I do agree maybe your theory was let's split those guys so we can save them a little bit. But, I mean, listen to this. In 2018, D-Rob had the most appearances with 69. In 2017, Dellin had the most appearances with 66. Okay, so 69, 66. In 2016,
right?
If anyone cares about that's the year, Dellin had the most with 73, and that's the same. Adam had the most in 73 in 2019. And Canely was 72. So they leaned on those guys a lot. And how many times did they get loose and not come in?
I don't have that stat in front of me.
Do you think they should keep track of that?
Like, kind of. It's kind of a Jakey idiots rant a little bit, but I don't understand why pitchers need so many pitches to get warmed up. Like, I think there's going to be a day in the future when, because I mean, we see bullpen guys throw 20, 30 pitches in the bullpen, and then they come in, they hit the 20 pitch mark, and we're like, this guy's gassed. I think there's going to be a day when they just like stretch to get warm, throw 4-5 pitches, and then they come in the game. Because
they throw some on the mound before they get in the game,
right?
Too. I think. Well, I wonder how many. Like CC throws 21 before starts.
Right.
That's his cap. So I wonder if each pitcher has their like how many they throw to stay warm.
I'm sure everyone does, but like
Mariano Rivera, his pregame routine was like it took him like 2 innings. He'd do like the heavy ball,
right,
and then throw the heavy ball, playing catch, and then through the pitches and stuff like that.
He's a little bit of a freak, I think.
Hey, one of the best to ever do it,
but
and the longevity.
I won't bring his bedroom life into it.
Ooh.
And yeah, I'm just seeing. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of Ottavino's last 14 appearances were under an inning.
Yeah, then go those lefties. Hey, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Did you notice my hat?
I did notice your hat.
It's an Adam Ottavino hat.
Adam Ottavino hat.
We got it from CoverageGear.com. They work with us a lot. They sponsor a lot of stuff we do. If you guys go to CoverageGear.com and use discount code JOMBOY or Breakdown, you can get an Adam Ottavino hat, or you can get any player hat from any team in any sport. And if they don't have it up there, you can probably request and they'll just make it for you.
Like send them a message. They'll do anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything. Coverage Gear.
CoverageGear.com. Customized sports hats. This has a 0 on it, which it's a weird number.
It's a play, though. Like,
it's a move.
That hat's a move.
I think it has his name on the back, too. Is that true?
I don't think it's an everyday hat, but that hat's a play. Or know who you'd be? You'd be the guy at the stadium. We tracked the bullpen usage pretty closely last year in our pregame show, and we could be like,
Adam's pitching today.
Today they're fully going to go.
Never called him Adam in my life. That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. Please don't do that.
Hey, Adam.
It's Robert Ottavino. like we could go, okay, yeah, like there's a chance they use Sessa, but otherwise it's going to be, Hap to Sessa to Otto to Chapman. Like that, those are the only guys available. If you wanted to, you could coverage gear and like come to the game, and like if the Yes Network finds you and you go hat to hat to hat to hat.
Oh wow, that's a good way to get on camera.
That's a flex.
Oh my God, Jake he's shrinking.
God.
You go coveragegear.com and all your gear you will be covered, and then
covered in gear.
You wear all the relievers' numbers on your head, and as they come in, you just keep switching. Maybe we'll do that if we go to a game.
That could actually kind of sounds fun. My big old calf just clipped the thing on the chair that lowered me.
Yeah, you shrunk.
Or I shrunk. So if you'll remember, a minute ago I said Adam Ottavino's last 14 appearances, 6 of them he pitched less than an inning. His first 14 appearances of the season, only 1 was less than an inning, and it was 4 pitches. So I think there's something with the usage. There was definitely something with confidence towards the end of the year. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how the division plays out. It'll be interesting to see other guys' health in the bullpen. But I wonder if we see the Yankees try to change their plan a little bit. Because think about it. We even, year over year, we forget how far we've come from what's Boone doing with the bullpen. We're down 1 run and we're not fighting.
He was better last year.
He was much better last year, and they clearly don't like using relievers. 3 days in a row. They just don't do it. I think they were the only team in the major leagues to not do it. I wonder if they're changing their bullpen formula a little bit, because you can't let Adam Ottavino get to the point where he was last year.
No, you have to be careful with him.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any way that he can take over Britton's role in the 8th inning? Because Britton also had a fantastic year last year, and we suspect that he will have another fantastic year because he has a longer track record of fantastic years than even Adam Ottavino.
Yeah, Britton's a little different, man. Because I think in my head initially I say yes. Like depending who's twirling it the best.
Anything is possible.
Give me Britton, Canely, Ottavino on a different day.
Yeah.
Potentially Chad Green even. But if Aroldis Chapman takes a 2-week breather or something like that, like the guy I'm looking at is clearly Zach Britton, which that's kind of an odd thought process.
Yeah. Odd that. Say that again? What's odd?
So I have Britton, Canely, and Ottavino necessarily, depending how the month's going, as interchangeable.
Yeah.
But if Aroldis Chapman had a 2-week injury, he's
Britton.
Yes.
That's not odd though.
I think
Britton's been a closer.
I think those 2 statements back to back are odd. I mean, Ottavino's got 19 career saves.
Well, I mean, Britton almost won a Cy Young.
Tommy Canley's got really good stuff. Yeah, that's a couple moons ago.
Britton is a closer. He's just currently behind Chapman. And any other team. I don't know if Adam Ottavino would be a closer on any other team.
I think that's kind of what you're saying. I mean, you could go to the ERA plus. You could look at the strikeout numbers. There's a lot of teams where Canely and Ottavino, if they were on that team and we were doing our TPPs on Talkin Baseball, check those out, promo. Like we would be saying, hey, these guys could get some saves next year.
Yeah, I just think that Zach Britton is a closer. Like, I still think he is a closer, just not for the Yankees.
I mean, he's done it. He has done it. And I guess that's kind of what it comes back to a little bit. But
yeah. Because I agree with you. I agree with that statement. I don't think it's odd. That's the only thing I disagree with. I think it's normal.
Right. Interchangeable pieces, and then they're not being interchangeable. Those are the 2 words.
Yeah. I mean, do they have saves on here?
19 career saves.
No, I'm looking for at Britton's.
Oh. I mean, he had his Cy Young season.
Yeah.
Where he didn't win the Cy Young.
Came in 4th. $10,000 if he was on the Cardinals.
Pretty good.
Anyway, he's got 236 games finished.
Okay.
That's not the same as saves.
No.
Obviously. Can we watch a random Adam Ottavino video?
Sure.
Baseball Savant?
85 games finished for Ottavino.
But what was it for Britton? Like 200? Here's the random video. Adam Ottavino swinging strike to Andrew McCutchen. He's on the Rockies here. 2018. Kutch is on the Giants. Yeah, slider. Right down the middle.
Got him
swinging. Strike 2. Thank you, Baseball Savant, for that random video.
Is Adam Ottavino's start important this year?
No.
No.
His finish is important.
Okay.
I think that's fair, right?
Right, but I'm saying with his finish last year being in Yankees' minds and a bad thing, and he gives up the hanger to Springer, if he gets off to a bad start this year, I think people could get loud.
To the reactionary fans will get loud.
Okay.
I don't think I will.
Okay.
Because, the start of the year, like, they use a lot of guys.
Right.
So if he's limited, I'll almost be like, great. I mean, look at Chad Green last year. His start was awful. Got sent down to the minors. In the end, we're like,
but we were worried about him.
yeah. But I'm saying in the end,
Yeah.
like during it, everything during is worrisome.
Okay.
But like is worrisome. But at the end, if we're like, well, he got off to a bad start, nothing matters but how you finish.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Yeah. I think that's. Do you have anything else? Do we have like his projected line for relievers? It's kind of stupid anyway.
Yeah. I mean, they have a big ERA number on there, 3.41.
Why? Whatever.
It's projections. His whip was really high last year. He had a 1.3 whip.
Yes, and everyone didn't like the analytics people like get mad at him like that's going to come back to bite him in the ass. He's going to be bad.
I mean, in theory it does because, I mean, it messes with your FIP. It messes with a lot of things. You don't want runners on base. But there was like a weird – he lost all of his confidence against lefties. And lefties, they had like a 750 OPS against him. But I think we basically hit a point in the season where it's like, why even bother with the lefty? Give me the righty that's
all those stats piss me off. If he walks one dude every single game, strikes out the next two, and then gets a ground ball or whatever,
sure,
like I'll take that every single inning,
right.
Every outing. I won't bat an eye at it. But that means he's going to have a bad whip and he's going to have a bad everything. But I don't care because he strikes dudes out.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I always find that. For relievers, I think a lot of the stats are different and people treat them as they're same as a starter. So, that's
More
mine.
Stats.
You good? Anything else?
I think I'm good.
All right. That's it. That is Adam Ottavino and our good friend, Adam. Thanks, Adam. See you later.
Thanks, Robert.